Prime Minister Trudeau is making mindless policy on the reduction of fertilizer usage, recklessly playing games with the global food supply and the food security of millions. The most affected people will probably not even be Canadians. Instead, Trudeau will be starving the poorest people in the world, like those in North Africa. Farming today is efficient, it's modern, it's state-of-the-art, and there's nothing simple about it. If these farmers could reduce their input costs by reducing their fertilizer bill by 30%, don't you think they'd do it? Have you ever looked at your supper plate and realized that it was a miracle? Or at least it should be, according to a population scientist from the late 1960s. In 1968, Paul Ehrlich wrote a book called The Population Bomb, in which he stated the world had already surpassed its ability to feed humanity and that mass starvation was a certainty. In 1970, the total population of the Earth was 3.7 billion. Today, there are almost 8 billion of us roaming around, and world hunger has been at an all-time low. Clearly, the author was wrong, but what did he miscalculate? Well, he vastly underestimated our modern farming industry and its ability to make food grow, even in areas that may not have been very productive previously. He hugely underestimated the powerful force for good that we call fertilizer. All farmers know that whenever you remove a nutrient from a field, in the form of grain or whatever it is, it has to be replaced in order for that field to stay productive in the following years. But, as we know, Trudeau is no farmer, nor does he seem to know any. And he certainly has no understanding for the industry itself. He doesn't get how tight the financial margins are for our food growers, or how that all the costs are going up faster than the prices of the grain they produce, or how something as uncontrollable as the weather can bring immeasurable strain to a family unit. So when Trudeau announces that his government will restrict the use of fertilizers by 30%, he certainly doesn't know that he may well be condemning a portion of our world to hunger. Our prairie farmers feed untold millions. Farmers in other parts of the world are already protesting, most notably in the Netherlands. Not that we would hear about it, but we should be protesting as well. Every Liberal and NDP member of Parliament should be feeling the heat. If the world is going to experience hunger, especially with the lack of Ukrainian food grain because of the war, Canadian farmers should redouble their efforts with the encouragement and support of our government. We should feel national pride over their accomplishments. They are literal lifesavers, and they definitely have my support. I grew up on a farm in the 1980s, the hard days of the 1980s, when interest rates were high and yields were either not good enough or perhaps weren't able to get them off because weather conditions were not good enough to get it out of the field. I remember. The Maverick Party is here, and I am here to represent Western Canadians. All of them. And the farming community is a huge demographic, an important demographic. My name is Colin Krieger. I'm your public servant, and I'm leader of the Maverick Party.